let's make lemonade. Let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go, 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 go! It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive, where Willis Infinity offers big, big deals on the most popular SUVs like the QX80 models with up to $9,000 retail cash, plus financing as low as 0% for 36 months or 3.9% for 84 months. And the QX60 models with up to $6,000 off for the same finance options. Start your buying journey at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube this morning, good morning. Subscribe to this channel. Like the video. Make your comments. Also, call the show. We got a lot to talk about today. 515-517-2303. And follow us on our social media channels. Bring in the Elite Eight character. Ross Peterson, Elite Eight. You don't even remember.
What? No way! No way! No way! This has happened. And then you get to put a thumb in the eye of Nebraska on the way to the Elite Eight. No freaking way. This is happening, man. This feels like a magic carpet ride. I don't even care about, I shouldn't say that again. I want to bask in this feeling for a while. I don't even want to think about tomorrow yet. I don't want to think about how difficult of a game that could be. I just want to sit in what that was like last night, Travis. 38 minutes you trailed that game. 38 minutes, never a lead. In fact, down, remember the beginning of that game? What were they down, like 12-2 or something like that?
They were down 12-2. They were down 16-6. And it was just, and I remember I was texting with you. You were watching the game with your family. And I'm just sitting there going, that's a bad start. And you know the old children's tale, the turtle and the tortoise and the hare?
Tortoise and the hare, yeah.
That was a classic example of the tortoise and the hare. You can get off to a fast start. You can take the big lead. But if you just keep going, if you just keep plucking away, if you make basic adjustments, good things can happen. And that Iowa team never panicked. Even when it was down, you're like, okay, they're still playing with poise. They didn't look shaken at all. And they just kept chipping away. Yep. And wow. I loved the down 8, get the ball inside, let's get a 2-point bucket. Get back and play defense. Down 8, go inside, get a 2-point bucket, let's go back and play defense. Down 8, hit a 3, go back and play defense. It never felt like panic. I had said to you, I really do think Ben McCollum can outcoach Fred Hoiberg. He keeps his teams in positions to win basketball games. And you had another really bad game. Well, I shouldn't say really bad. Not a great game from Bennett Sturts. Not a great first half. Yeah, started to hit a couple threes, hit a couple of big buckets, but he was not. It wasn't like, oh man, Bennett Sturts went for 40 and they were able to beat Nebraska. Travis, when they gave up 40 in the first half, I thought they can't keep this pace. Well, the pace of play definitely favored Nebraska in the first half. But the key was this. Nebraska got off to a big start. We're going to hear from Ben McCollum in a second about the slow start. But I want to say this, is you're right. The pace to start was incredible for Nebraska. But what was surprising is once Iowa got its composure, it was able to keep pace and get within 3 points at 46-30 at halftime. And Ross, really both teams in the first half shot incredible. Nebraska shot 60% in the first half, 63% from behind the arc. That was Iowa. Nebraska shot 57.7% and 50% from behind the arc. And once Iowa got its composure together, started hitting shots, and they were able to climb back in it, making huge defensive stops, scoring off turnovers, and getting great bench play. Now, you mentioned Bennett Sturts. I'm going to give you his line. I think you're going to be surprised by his line. He was 7 of 15, 3 of 9 from behind the arc, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He had 2 rebounds. He had 20 points, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. That's a pretty darn good line.
It's a good line. He did not have a great first half. Travis.
No,
I mean that's all I was saying. He didn't. Yeah. He didn't have a 40-point game. That's also what I was saying. He didn't. So I knew his line. He had a good game. He didn't have that game that it was like, oh man, Bennett. He carried the team the whole way.
But see, he didn't need to because you have Cooper Koch, who has 11. You have Alvaro Figueres, who has 16. You have Tate Sage, who comes off the bench and scores 19. You mentioned the slow start. Here's Ben, and I think Ben McCollum speaks for almost every Iowa fan when you talk about the slow start in maybe the first 10, 12 minutes of this first half.
That was huge because they were absolutely punishing us. I mean, it felt like it was a 50-point lead, to be perfectly honest. Like, we just made enough shots to hang in there, so then we were able to keep it close, and then we decided we wanted to guard that second half, which was good. And you know, it slowed their tempo down a little bit, which was nice. But, man, they put it on us to start. Their game plan was fantastic. You know, they're obviously very well coached and have really good players. But, yes, to keep it close in that moment, because I thought they were about 20 points better than us in that first half.
I think every Iowa fan felt that, right? Is that once they got up, they're like, they can't miss. This is going to be a rout.
Man, I didn't feel that way.
Really?
No, they were up 12-2. I said to the guys, we were up at the VA, and I said to the guys, I go, this is good. This is a good thing, because I was going to come back, and then they get the momentum. And I didn't ever feel like it was a 50-point game. I had the exact opposite feeling. When it got to halftime, I thought, man, Nebraska had missed 11 shots at halftime. They'd missed 11 shots in the whole first half. They were shooting the ball really well. So, like Ben McCullough, I had that feeling of like, man, they're going to stay in this game. We're going to have a better second half than we did the first half. McCollum's going to make those adjustments. He's going to keep 5 guys on the floor. Dude, a team that is designed to slow it down, a team that they've got the lead, they want to try to milk the clock. And when Bennett Sturts is all of a sudden pointing like this, and you see that baseball pass over the top, what the hell is this? That will go down as an all-time blunder. Now,
really?
It's a 7-point game, so you can look at it and go, oh, well, that point didn't matter. Yeah, it did. That was the possession that drove the nail into the coffin. No doubt about it. That bucket with the going to the line then, that was the nail in the coffin. And that's on the coach. That is 100% on the coach. Somebody said, I saw something that's like, well, the official's not supposed to give him the ball until there's 5 guys on the court. Fred Hoiberg's got to get 5 guys on the court. He had his guy standing at the bench, at the head table, like he was checking in.
I don't believe that is true. First of all, here's Fred Hoiberg. He had another soundbite afterwards, but they asked Rick Mast about it. Because you can see as they're getting ready to inbounds, Rick Mast is running off the bench because Fred noticed there was only 4 guys out there. You could see Mast trying to get to the scorer's table, and Fred owned up to it. It's a very quick soundbite.
It was a miscommunication, and I'm the head coach. Put that one on me.
It's on you, Fred. It is on you. I will say this. I commented to somebody on Facebook this morning because they're like, the official should have started the game. And I don't believe that's true. And I'm going to call John for clarification after this show. But I believe, Ross, if you have 6 players on the court, that's a technical foul. Go to football. If there's 10 players on the field, they don't stop the game and say, put your 11th player on the field. Yeah. You can actually play a basketball game with 4, 3, and 2 players.
What's the old Norman, what's the line from Hoosiers? My team's on the court. You can't play with 4 if you got guys on the bench. My team's on the court.
Yes. You can play with 4. I don't
Fred
think there was an obligation.
His team was on the court. That was amazing last night.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Brian. Brian, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, Brian?
The freaking Elite 8. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I cannot believe this. I didn't think I'd ever see this.
Humphrey,
wow,
especially
Travis,
in those.
For you.
Oh,
how many
bud.
TVs got smashed last night in Nebraska?
That's probably a pretty good question. And we had a barbecue yesterday at work celebrating the March Madness tournament. and there were 2 of us in Iowa gear, just 2 people. We had
How many people in the company?
Oh, there's almost 300 some people in the company. Probably about 200 showed up to the barbecue, and it's me and Andrew wearing Hawkeye gear, and everybody's like, "You can't sit with us," and they were being fun, like, "You can't sit with us." Not here. I'm like, okay, if that's the way you all want to be, that's fine. But
oh my gosh, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, there were probably a couple that got smashed. I was watching the game at Owen's house, and it's the first time I've watched a sporting event with my son in a long time. And he had his good friend Spencer over, who's a huge Husker fan. And Owen and I were just we kept quiet till like the last 2 minutes.
Spencer's the buddy that goes to the Iowa Nebraska games with Owen every year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So those two go to the Iowa Nebraska game every year, and it is we were sitting with him, and it was calm for about the first 38 minutes. And then that last 2 minutes, we were just kind of starting to rib it in. We were starting to celebrate. And as soon as it hit 0, I think Spencer wanted to throw something at Owen's TV, but he knew that he was at Owen's house and that, it probably would not be appropriate.
Right. Hey, yeah, I just loved it when who was that? What was one of the color commentators that does the NBA normally?
Was it
like? Fulgaris comes down and he's like, Fulgaris is wide open again. Well, at least that time Nebraska had 5 players on the court, and the other 2 guys, they just start chuckling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Nebraska, this is a big embarrassment, and you just got beat by the Hawkeyes. And every Nebraska fan is smashing their TV right now.
Oh man, it's
I loved it.
I think we all loved it. We all loved it. It's awesome.
Have you seen the thing, guys? Of
thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Humphrey. Take care, buddy. Did you see the thing of the Matt Rule?
When he was when
they showed him on the TV. They showed him on the TV. Have you seen the stat from that? From the minute they showed Matt Rule, Nebraska got outscored 17-5.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Dean. Dean, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, Dean?
Not much. How are we doing this morning, gentlemen?
Great.
Hey, I just want to make a quick comment, and I hate to play the what-if game, but, after last night's win, I kind of sat there and thought of the past talent that the men's Iowa basketball team has had, and I was thinking, what if we had this coach with that talent, what we could have done? And I'm not trying to kick Fran to the curb, but it just makes you wonder, what if?
Are you ready for this, Dean? Iowa's won more NCAA basketball games in the last 7 days than it did the previous 20 years.
That's crazy. But this definitely is not the most talented Iowa team we've had. But it just makes me look back and think, what if?
Don't play the what. Hey,
Thanks.
Dean, don't play the what if game in your head. Don't play the what if game, because just enjoy this. I mean, we can do that, but don't play that game in your head. Just go, you know what? The future looks bright. You have a really, really good coach who has a great system, and this is the one to celebrate.
Got it. And Dean, you also have to remember butterfly effect. Like if Ben McCollum is there, probably don't get Luka Garza. If Ben McCollum's there, might not get, I don't know. I mean, do the Murray twins still show up? Seems like it. But I don't know that I'm with Trav. Don't play that what if game. Just look at it and go, damn, I'm glad we are where we are. And that's Travis. I was texting with our buddy Scott Carpenter last night. As soon as the game got over, he was texting with me, and I said, we've got a fucking coach, dude. Now I knew that, but I think there was still a part of me that was like in hope mode. I hope he is the coach that I think he is. Dude, he is the coach I thought he was. And we've got to really
after last night, we've pretty much answered that question.
Yes. Absolutely. Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
515-517-2303. Phones are lighting up. We'd love to hear from you today. Let's go to Steve. Steve, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on? Steve, you there? Steve.
I don't think Steve's there.
Womansky calling.
Oh, wait. What's that?
Lomansky calling.
Oh, Lomansky, not Steve.
Lomansky.
Well,
Oh,
Lomansky.
it says Steve in the call screener.
That's
So,
okay. We understand.
Lomansky, what's going on?
Good morning, gentlemen. I go back to the summer when Coop said, you know what, what's the difference between last year and this year? And he said, well, when we run in conditioning, I was throwing up. And, when I was watching the game, basketball's about legs. And you know what? I think McCollum's a genius because I think the Iowa team was just a little bit better shape and a little tougher than Nebraska.
I would totally agree with you. Nebraska was out of gas late, seemed lost late, and got punched. It's like Iowa landed one of those late punches, and you just saw the gas totally fall out of Nebraska.
And then they got dude. It was the Fulgaris dunk. Because then from that point on, they've got to start chucking threes. They've got to go fast. I think they only hit one bucket after that, and it was. I mean, they were in desperation mode once that play happened. So
in the last 6 minutes and 12 seconds of the game, I believe Iowa outscored Nebraska 15-6. That's in the last 6-12. I think it was tied at 56 at that point, or 65 at that point. And you're like, okay, we're going to have a great finish. And I don't disagree with what you're saying that conditioning was a part of it, because they just looked to get stronger as the game went along. And I think what happened was, look at the first half. Nebraska 46, Iowa 43. The pace was incredible. And Ross, you said at the beginning, if that pace continued and the shooting continued, second half, Iowa 34-25. Iowa got really aggressive defensively. Their hand action got a little bit better. Nebraska couldn't stop Iowa in the paint, and Nebraska couldn't get to the paint. They were forced to take bad shots, bad threes, got some good looks, but just couldn't hit. And I don't disagree with you, man. I don't disagree with you at all. Good call, man. Appreciate it.
You can let you drop me off, but it's really fun I want to do a shout out to Tom Davis, who turned 87 last September, and he got to watch this game at home. And of course, Ben McCollum attended his camp in Northwest Iowa and has a picture of him with Coach. So, gentlemen, thanks for your program.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Lomansky.
515-517-2303. You usually see him in the chat on the YouTube, but he said, screw it, I'm calling the show today. Bus, what's going on, Bus?
Boys, happy Hawkeye good morning to you, and an elite day to all. How about this, fellas?
It just feels different.
Graduated junior college in December of 1979 and transferred into Iowa in January of 80 as a married student. And my wife worked at the dental school, lived that whole magical run in 80, and have been a Hawkeye fan and attended games for years. Folks, relish all this. This is the best of times. And what a performance. Somebody may have had the last 3 minutes of the game on loop since midnight. And I got to roll out for route here pretty quick, fellas. So all the best to you and really appreciate the show.
Thanks, Bus. Good to hear from you, man. Drive safe this morning. Keep those kiddos safe.
You bet. It'll be a happy Hawkeye caravan this morning.
Yeah.
Are you wearing Hawkeye gear? Are you getting on the bus with Hawkeye gear? I mean, Ross is decked out in Hawkeye gear this morning. I wore my lucky sweatshirt last night, by the way, Ross. I wore my lucky sweatshirt, and I can't wear it on Saturday, or do I wear it? And Bus, thanks, man, because I was telling. Oh, sorry, Bus.
Sorry, Bus. It's okay. It's all right.
I'm a little nervous, because I have an obligation on Saturday night. I had already agreed to MC a really, really large fundraiser. And I'm
what
like,
time?
It starts at 5 o'clock and it goes till 10.
Game tips at 5:09.
I know. And I'm like, I'm going to miss the game. Now, I have the YouTube TV. I have it on my phone. I can follow along. But I'm going to be in the middle of Nebraska, and I'm going to have to announce to these people, you are so special to me that I'm missing the Iowa game for you. So therefore, bid a lot more money to make me feel good about the job I'm doing for you. Oh, man. But, Bus brought up a good thing. I don't remember the Final Four year in 80 at all. My first recollection of Hawkeye basketball was when Lute Olson went on like a caravan tour, and he came over in the spring and played at Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln, and I got to go see Michael Stokes, Michael Payne, that group, right? And then Lute left. And I remember the George Raveling years, and I remember the 87 Elite Eight. I remember it like it was yesterday because I was dating Rachel Peterson at the time. Sorry, Rachel, for throwing out your name. And I'm watching this game in her house, and I watched them that huge lead I think they had at halftime just dissipate, thinking, well, I was a player. They're going to get back there on a regular basis. I'm going to see this again. I've waited 39 years, Ross, 39 years to experience this again. So don't take this for granted.
Dude, I'm on cloud nine. I don't know how you could take this for granted.
No, but I mean, that's why.
Yeah, I know you're right. And I do want to address something real quick because we've had a lot of people that have said something to this effect here. Mike wrote in and said, hey, basically, why didn't you guys do a black and gold rush last night? I watched the game from a hospital, so it wasn't possible. I watched it with my dad and brother.
Family comes first. We did this the other day. Family 100%. Comes first.
Yeah, so it wasn't even an option last night. I'm sorry, guys. And I did have a lot of people reach out like, oh, you and Trav should go live. Sorry, man. Couldn't do it last night, and we'll see. But Dad had a big improvement yesterday, so that was good news for us. So anyway,
and you know what? The Hawkeyes won. That should lift his spirits.
Hawkeyes won. Yeah, got a. It's funny because Courtney's dad sent me a message last night. There's about 2 minutes left in the game, and he's like, "Man, I hope your dad is smiling." And at that moment, he was actually asleep. And so I kind of sent a photo of my brother and I in the hotel room with him. I'm like, "Yeah, when he wakes up, he's really happy." And then there's 15 seconds left, and Norm wrote, "Wake him up!"
Yeah,
he woke up. He could hear Brad and I in there slapping each other's knees, trying to be quiet to let our dad sleep.
At a 9 seed, Iowa is the lowest Big Ten seeded team in history to make the Elite Eight. No other Big Ten team seated at the number 9 has ever made the Elite Eight. They are the 6th, 9th seed in the history of the NCAA tournament to make the Elite Eight. So they're in rare company, right? We talked about this. Iowa is a great story for the NCAA tournament. And, they're throwing the word Cinderella out there. That's not the case. If you come from the Big Ten, which went undefeated last night, by the way, and has 3 more in action tonight, you're not a Cinderella story. But Ben McCollum addressed the story in the shoes of Cinderella after the game last night.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's Cinderella. We were so close in a lot of games, and I don't like to use that. And we were right there. And then we lost some games we probably shouldn't have. I think part of that is it's just like those games where those teams get up, we don't have enough just complete talent to be able to overwhelm, maybe the bottom tier teams in the Big Ten. And so we lose a couple of those games that we maybe should have won if we're at 97%. 97% doesn't work for us. Like, we have to be at 100%. So, yeah, I mean, Cinderella, whatever they want to call us. I mean, we're in the Elite Eight. That's what they need to call us.
What a great answer. We're in the Elite Eight. That's all they need to call us. They can
Cinderella
call us
listen, I like Cinderella stories. It's a little moniker that gets put on, or label that gets put on. It means nothing. Means nothing. And I agree with you. You can't be from a power conference and be called a Cinderella. It doesn't work that way. But it doesn't matter. Okay, well then if it's not Cinderella, what do you call this team? You call them an Elite Eight team. And you got to be excited about the future is bright. I love that. As soon as the game got over, did you see the on-court presser that they did? First question, Coach, you said that Iowa is for tough guys. That quote has legs. And I don't know if it's the type of thing that actually speaks to a young player, but I think it is, to say, you know what? I'm a tough guy. I want to play for a coach that wins. I want to play for a coach that keeps 5 guys on the court. I want to play for a coach that keeps his teams in games, even in places that they don't think they're supposed to be in them.
I also like his self-awareness when he says 97% doesn't work for us.
Yes.
And that is,
and he's right,
because right now they're running at 110%. I know that's not possible, but I'm using that as an example. They're running at about 110%. Because when you lose to Maryland, when you lose to Penn State, and you're at 97%, the bottom half of the Big Ten is pretty good. When you're running at 100%, you can compete with every team in the country. Now, there's some stiff competition. It doesn't get easier from here by any means, but when he says, and the self-awareness is, hey, 97% doesn't work. And last night, when you have 4 guys in double figures, and you don't have to rely on Bennett Sturts to be the hero the whole time, because he wasn't the hero. I will agree with that. You had a lot of heroes last night.
Yes.
That's when you have everybody working at 100%.
And listen, it almost felt a little bit more like we've talked with Iowa State last night, because it's hard to say who's the MVP of last night's game. Bennett Sturts led the team in points. Fulgaris had the biggest shots.
Again.
Or is it?
Tate Sage had
Is it
pretty
Tate
darn
Sage?
big shots.
Yeah, he had some huge shots. He had some big rebounds. This is one of the first games where you can look at it and go, boy, there's a slew of guys that fit into that player of the game thing. And Travis, I do think this team beat Florida. This team just beat Nebraska. Even though Illinois is a really good team, Illinois is in that range. They're not better than Florida. They're right there with Nebraska. I mean, hell, for most of the Big Ten season, Nebraska was ahead of Illinois. So I'm not at that point right now. That's the great part about this also. Dude, I'll be honest. Win the first round of going into Florida, I was like, fun run, but we're losing this one by 15. Florida's a much better team than Iowa. I don't feel that way with Illinois.
Speaking of Illinois, we will be talking about the Illini in the next break. But when Iowa won last night, you know what I did, Ross? Here's what I did. I yelled. That's what I yelled. And now is the time to call with your weekly Whoo-Hoo. And yes, 1 million of you can have Iowa. But you can tell us, how you watched the game, how you celebrated the game, because this week's prize pack includes some new tickets, Diamond Dollar tickets, Lucky Clover crossword, and free play coupons for the new national draw game, Millionaire for Life. Both the scratch tickets are part of some of the awesome new second chance promotions. But you must be a VIP club member to enter your non-winning tickets. And if you're not a VIP club member, sign up for free today at theiowalottery.com/VIP. Here's how you do it. 515-517-2303. You can call in your weekly Woo-Hoo, or you can go to the website, therushradio.com. Click on the promo tab. There's a Woo-Hoo tab there. Fill it all out. Send it to us. I'll get it this morning. And we want to give you something for $90, and you can win more from the Iowa Lottery. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy, and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop. 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat, Norm. Norm knows basketball, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert. Please call me. I would love to help you.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
As winter turns to spring and the world comes alive again, one thing remains true. Potholes can really mess up your day. From busted tires to knocking your alignment out of whack, hitting a pothole can cause some serious damage. For the month of March, Willis Volvo Cars is offering 20% off pothole special. This includes tire rotate, balance, and alignment package to keep you on the road. To get scheduled, give us a call or head online at willisvolvocars.com.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Looking for a lunch or dinner spot that always hits? Head to Fong's Pizza. Perfect for a quick downtown lunch, happy hour with coworkers, or dinner before a night out. Fong's delivers creative specialty pizzas, craveable appetizers like pot stickers and monthly specialty pizzas, and 25 beers on tap to keep the good times rolling. Fong's Pizza, downtown Des Moines. Fun, flavorful, and anything but ordinary. Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson, celebrating an Iowa Sweet 16 win over Nebraska last night, 77-71, on to the Elite Eight, where they're going to play Illinois. But first, let's go to the phones at 515-517-2303. Is this Kevin? Kevin, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much, man.
Hey, I just wanted to call in and continue to talk about how great Ben McCollum is as a coach. I mean, I haven't seen him talk a lot about here. I mean, I was up late, reading everything, watching everything last night, and the fact that he kept Tavion Banks off the floor for what seemed like, it might not have been, but it seemed like the last 10 minutes. I mean, that guy, you could argue, was our best player the first two games of this tournament.
Yeah, Tavion Banks only played 14 minutes and 27 seconds last night.
Crazy. And I mean, he was right. I mean, Tate Sage, Fulgaris, I mean, Howard with that defense. I mean, the guy just knows how to coach, just point blank period. He's elite.
Kevin, I completely agree. He makes the adjustments, even when, Fred's a really good coach also. Fred threw out that 1-3-1 that caused some problems. They made adjustments right away. I think he's really good at knowing which buttons to hit. And, man, he says it in that post-game press conference. They don't have the talent to do what they've done. They're playing with D2 guys, a lot of D2 guys. They're playing with guys that weren't Power 5 recruits, or so it's a really impressive coaching job. I'm so excited about the future of Hawkeye basketball.
It's insane, man. I mean, you look at it, we have the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats just took down the defending national champions, took down our hated rival Nebraska. Now we got a chance to go to the Final Four. It's nuts. I can't wait to see what the future holds. Appreciate you guys. Love the show.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, man.
We got a text from Justin last night when the game ended. He goes, I can't believe it. Drake could have been in the Elite Eight if they just would have kept McCollum.
Could have been. What could have been? This could have been the Drake Bulldogs. Robert writes in, this is for a weekly Whoo-Hoo.
Okay.
He goes, I feel my wife and I are responsible for the Iowa win last night. Iowa was last in the Elite Eight in 1987. which was the year I was born, and we are now currently expecting our first child. So you were born in 1987. You knock your wife up right now, and they're going back to the Elite Eight. So Robert says, I'm responsible for last night's win. You know what?
Robert, as a state, we thank you.
Yes.
As a fan base, a tip of the cap.
Yes.
For your fine performance in the bedroom.
Way to plant that seed. Now, are you going to name, if it's a boy, are you naming it Bennett? That's what we have to ask. Or are you going to name him Ben?
That might be the way.
I mean, think about this, Ross. How many babies in the 80s and early 90s were named Hayden? You might have the name Bennett, Benjamin, or Ben make a really strong comeback in the state of Iowa.
Flag son is named Hayden.
After Hayden Fry. 515-517-2303.
What if he went to his wife and here's an idea, Robert. Go to the wife and say, hey, honey, I've got an idea for the name. You know this whole Iowa Hawkeye connection? What if we named our baby Fulgaris?
I like it. Gray, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on?
I got a woohoo for you today.
Okay.
As of last Friday, the wife and I are debt free. We paid off our mortgage, no car payments, no nothing.
Yeah. Ray, nice, dude.
Man.
Congratulations.
Is retirement right around the corner? Is retirement right around the corner? Because now that you're debt free, I would get in the car and I would drive to Houston and say, you know what? We don't have a mortgage payment anymore. Let's spend thousands of dollars to go watch the Hawkeyes take on Illinois. That's what you should do. Go into debt doing that. That's good debt.
Well, retirement is in 6 weeks.
Oh,
good for you, Ray.
It's a freaking nightmare.
Explain. What do you mean?
Medicare is a disaster trying to sign up for that stuff.
Yeah.
Put that aside. Go watch the Hawks.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is go watch the Hawks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ray, congratulations on a good career, on a job well done, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll talk to you later, man.
That's cool. I remember, Trav. I remember when I was a kid, my buddies, Gus and Ryan Childs, their dad, Randy. I remember one day we would like spent the night. We woke up that next morning and he was sitting at his kitchen table. I'll never forget it. He was happy. And we were like, hey, what's up? And he goes, boys, I'm writing the last check on this house today. I write this check, I own this house. I remember that. We're like, oh, that's really something to work for. That's really something it could see it. Like, that was an achievement. That was a life thing. He went, yeah, I did it. And I felt really good for him. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool, man. I feel it. Good job, Ray. Happy for you, man. That's awesome.
So up next for the Iowa Hawkeyes on Saturday night will be the Illinois Fighting Illini. Another team out of the Big Ten, a team that Iowa lost to earlier in the season. You got to go back to January.
Again, Hawks were not playing good basketball at that point, man. They'd come off. Was that, Travis, after the Minnesota loss?
I'll have to go back at the.
They lost to Illinois in the middle. It was like
it was January 11th, and they lost.
You don't have the Hawks schedule in front of them here. Hold on, I bet I can get to it.
Okay.
They lost. They were not playing good basketball. Oh, boy, I'm at the wrong thing here. Yes, they lost to Illinois in the middle of a 3-game stretch. They had lost at Minnesota. Remember, we were like, "Oh, that's a weird loss for this team." And then they lost against Illinois at home, but they only lost by 6 in that game. And then they lost at Purdue when Purdue was like the top-ranked team in the country. I said this when they were going up against Nebraska. This Iowa team is playing way better than the team Nebraska played last month. If you're going to go back to January, when they're in the middle of a 3-game slide, Illinois has not played this Hawkeye team. And I like that. I like that a lot. That they were close in that game when they weren't playing good basketball. And now I feel like they are doing that thing. They're playing their best basketball. You don't beat Florida. You don't come back from a 10-point deficit multiple times. You don't win that game in that fashion with that much energy unless you're playing your best basketball. Travis, this is crazy to think about, man, because last night I was even saying to my brother, like, I don't even want to think about this weekend. I don't want to think about if it's Houston or Illinois because both of those teams are really good. And then Illinois won, and I'm looking at it going, Iowa can win this game.
Yeah, they're 40 minutes from the Final Four. Let me repeat that. Iowa is 40 minutes from the Final Four. And the irony of this whole thing, you play Nebraska in the Sweet 16, a team that hates you, a fan base that hates you because you own them. And then you get Illinois, which there's a history there with basketball, going back to Bruce Pearl. And there's hard feelings still on the Illinois side about all that. They haven't gotten over that since what, since the 90s.
I don't know a single Illinois basketball fan. I'm not kidding you. I know a lot of Nebraska fans. I don't know a single person that's like, yeah, you know what my favorite team is? Illinois. I've never met somebody that said that.
I don't know an Illinois fan either, but if you follow along, people still remember, the recorded phone calls and things that took place.
Oh yeah, now that what was the kid's name?
I forget the kid's name.
Oh, I forgot that.
It was Bruce Pearl who recorded the phone calls and created all the chaos. Illinois fans haven't forgotten that. Haven't forgotten that at all. No, credit Illinois because they went to Houston.
Dion Thomas. Good job. Irish Hawk wrote in Dion. It was Dion Thomas.
Now credit Brad Underwood because Illinois is playing really good and they're talented. I'm not saying they're not. This is a winnable game for Iowa. You lost by 6 back in January. This is going to be another, I think, good game.
Yeah.
Ben McCollum's right. They can't play at 97% and expect to beat Illinois. They got to be, if they play like they did last night, oh, buddy, we're going to have a good game. If you're going to get, your bench scoring the way it did, if you're going to have 4 guys in double figures, I would like to believe that I was going to be in the Final Four. What I didn't like about last night, watching with the way it was set up, I know a lot of people thought the arena was empty last night. No, Houston fans just didn't show up and sit in their seats.
So, Trav, I thought that same thing. I said that many times. I was like, wait, these games were like $500 tickets.
It was sold out everywhere, but the place you sold on TV.
But right behind the benches. We couldn't, the game started. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Brad and I were trying to figure that out. And then it started to fill in as the game went on. And I like, you bought a $500 ticket and didn't go to both games? And
why wouldn't you go to both
missed
games?
An amazing game. Saw an amazing game, but
Illinois is loaded, and but it's weird. You're right, Ross, because Iowa beat Florida, because Iowa beat Nebraska. I don't think they're intimidated. I don't think fans should be going, well, we've reached the end. No, I don't think so. You have a really, really good shot at going to the Final Four. And I'm glad it's a Big Ten matchup because I do play the conference thing. I'm glad Purdue won last night. What a finish in the Purdue game last night.
Oh, dude.
What a finish.
Have you seen the camera from on top of the basket?
I haven't.
Oh, it doesn't look good for Purdue.
Goaltending?
No, not goaltending, but there a lot of posturing and shoving, and then it looks like a little bit of a shove and maybe an over the back or displacement, whatever. Anyway, it didn't get called. It counts. What do you think of the all-time assist leader trying to get the bucket at the buzzer? I thought it was great. I thought that was because they were tied, right? They were tied with that, so they knew they were at least going to go to overtime.
But I was happy to see Purdue win last night. I was happy, I want Michigan State to win tonight. I want what other Big Ten teams are playing tonight? Michigan's playing tonight. I want Michigan to win because to me that just validates Iowa. You're coming from the best conference in college basketball. You're 3 for 3 right now in the Sweet 16. You can go 3 for 3 tonight.
And who knows if we will ever in our life be closer to this. Dean writes in, we could have an Iowa State NCAA final game.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Fingers crossed.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That might be light the place on fire. That would be insane.
It would be insane, but it would be so cool.
I'm with Irish. I almost think it would be bad for the state. Irish just wrote in and said, that would be terrible. That'd be terrible for the state.
Why would it be terrible? The hatred, I mean, the smack talking would be at an all-time high. Bigger than any Cy-Hawk football game ever.
Yeah, and I think it would carry too much weight. The Cy-Hawk game, we all get to walk away from that and go, okay, well, now we got the rest of the season. I will tell you this. I think that especially right now with what Cyclone fans have been through and how the basketball has really become an identity for them, that I don't think that would be, I don't want that. I don't want that. It would just cause so much hate and anger and all that. I mean, maybe I'm overthinking it, Trav. You're in the middle of basically the same thing right now with Iowa and Nebraska. And it feels damn good.
I wanted Iowa to win in the worst way last night.
Damn good, don't it?
Now, it would be actually tougher with the Iowa State matchup in the national champion, and we're getting way ahead of ourselves. We're putting the cart way in front of the horse. It's one game at a time. I get that. But you got to understand, I'm the only, besides my son, I'm the only Iowa fan, and Abigail and Will, who grew up in Mississippi he sends me a picture last night. He's wearing a Hawkeye shirt. He's in front of the TV. And I guarantee he's walking around with his Iowa shirt down in Mississippi. They're probably like, what are you doing? He's like, go. I've taught him to just say, go Hawks. That's all you got to say. But Anjanette graduated from Iowa State. All her brothers and sisters graduated from Iowa State. Gretchen's kids go to Iowa State. It would be, I would have a tougher time in the family.
With the Iowa State and Nebraska?
I need Laura, my sister-in-law, who's married to an Iowa State grad. She went to Iowa Pharmacy School. We're texting each other last night because I don't think she can talk about the game with her husband because, he's an Iowa State fan. We're going back and forth. We would have to not watch the game with family. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, it's a great Friday morning, everybody.
Yes, it is.
So yesterday I was at a meeting with a bunch of, we were up in Yankton, South Dakota with a bunch of Nebraska fans. So I caught the short end of the stick there. Next week, I'm going to be in Illinois in my home office for 4 days. So I sure hope we have a victory Saturday night so I can rub it in their face.
It'll make things a lot more fun. That's for sure. Kevin, thanks for the phone call, man. Appreciate it. And good luck to you.
Whoo-Hoo.
That's your Whoo-Hoo? All right. It's always good to have a Whoo-Hoo, Kevin, because you might pick up $90 from the Iowa Lottery.
And remember, Kevin's our guy that goes to the horse campgrounds.
Oh, that's right.
This is our cowboy. Yeah. When you say you're at your home office is in Illinois, Kevin, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's in Bloomington.
Oh, okay.
You work for State Farm?
No, Gromart.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, man.
Take care, buddy.
You bet. Have a good day.
You too. Have a good weekend. It's Friday. Have a good weekend.
Friday. It's going to be a great Saturday. It's going to be a great Sunday. If there was a team that looked really good, Arizona looked really good last night. I don't know if you stayed up and watched any of that game.
I didn't. Nope.
They handed John Calipari his biggest loss in the NCAA tournament ever. Just blowing him out, scoring over 100 points. But Arizona looked like a number one seed last night. Good news is Iowa doesn't have to play them next. They play Illinois. I mean, we've talked about matchups. It's all the whole thing has worked out so, and everybody's like, well, Iowa just they got lucky because they played Clemson without its best player. Then they beat Florida.
I haven't heard anybody say that
on social media. Yeah, I mean, if you follow Twitter and stuff, there's fans out there that come up with reasons why this is happening. One is they played Clemson without its best player. So guess what? Iowa State may be playing without one of its best players tonight. I don't think TJ is going to use that as an excuse. Then they go, well, they beat Florida because of bad coaching. Well, that's bad coaching.
Who are these people? What are you talking? I haven't heard any of this.
Ross, I just explained it's on social media.
It's on Twitter. How could you look at this Iowa run and water it down like that? And I'm just like,
because when you're not an Iowa fan, you look for reasons to poo-poo on a 9 seed getting as far as it has. Instead of going, boy, this team's very well coached. Instead of going, wow, look at this team. There was a point last night in the second half. The ball movement was absolutely sick.
Oh, dude, yeah. Even on that one they missed, Travis, the one that they missed where even the commentators were like, Nebraska is in permanent transition. They're in constant rotation with that ball movement. And that, yeah, I love that. When the ball's just zipping around.
Making the extra pass. Because there's sometimes like, shoot. No, extra pass. You're like, oh, that's pretty sweet. Keep that ball movement going. And Nebraska could not adjust to that. Ross, I was so excited when Kevin Harlan was on the call last night. I was like, I love listening to Kevin Harlan. I can listen to Kevin Harlan, and Robbie Hummel was part of that. I was just like,
okay. They didn't. I'm so bad. They weren't calling the Iowa game, were they?
Yeah.
Harlan was on the Hawk. Okay.
Yeah.
See, we were.
You were watching on an iPad with iPad sound.
But it worked.
One thing we learned about the VA, not great cable television.
Here's the deal. They don't have TBS in the rooms. So they have and they've got a couple they've got a couple of community areas, because my dad's in what's called the CLC. It's kind of like a community thing. And so we could go to the community area and watch the game. But the direct TV in the community area with the storm last night was cutting out. So you'd get 8 seconds of game and then it would go black. And then another 10 seconds of game and it'd go black. You'd be like, oh, what's happening? So finally Brad was like, we're watching it on the iPad. And we went back to Dad's room and just watched it in there. So,
I was thinking, who doesn't have TBS in the rooms? Because to me, TBS is like one of those main channels. It's like, well, TBS is in every television. I get not having true TV, but TBS? Come on.
Here's what it is. Worked out. But here's the deal. We probably will be doing the same thing Saturday night now. And then in that vein, have you seen Bill Blank's Facebook post yet?
Was he bitching about officials? Because I liked it. I loved it. Listen, Iowa only had one foul called on it up until 6 minutes to go in the second half. I'm like,
that was wild. When they mentioned that, when they put the timeouts up there, and that was a moment of what? There had been 4 fouls called in the first 15 minutes of the second half, something like that. Iowa had 1 foul.
And Nebraska had 3. And truthfully, I loved it. The second half flew by. Because it didn't. I actually think it benefited Iowa. It didn't disrupt the flow of the game. Iowa was able to control the pace during that. Sure, you're going to have some calls that you're like, that should have been called. But for the most part, I'm like, I like this. Let them play. But what was Bill's Facebook page?
So Bill, it's funny because he's wearing an apron. He's wearing one of their Billy and Willie's Workshop cooking aprons. And then when you read the post, you realize that when they played last weekend, Bill was in the middle of cooking when the game started, and he watched the game wearing the apron. And out of pure superstition, he and everybody else at his game watch party wore exactly what they had worn last weekend.
That's why I wore my Hawkeye sweatshirt last night. I'm like, I know, because Bill's probably like me, a little superstitious. Well, what did I wear last week? I was wearing an apron. I'm going to put the apron on. I had my Hawkeye sweatshirt. I'm like, because I didn't even wear it to work yesterday. I wore a wave shirt to work yesterday because it's a little bit warmer, so I didn't want to wear a sweatshirt. But then last night I was getting ready for the game, and I'm like, I'm going over to Owens. I'm putting the sweatshirt on. I'm a little superstitious that way. So what did you wear last night?
I was wearing this.
Okay, you wear that on Saturday.
I threw this on. I was walking out the door. I was wearing a T-shirt, and I was like, you know what? It might be cold up in the room. I'll throw on the hoodie. Should wear the Hawkeye hoodie. Support the boys. And, wave the flag, right? Walk into the hospital letting people know.
Just wear it tomorrow night. That's all I'm asking.
My buddy Chris wrote that it's the same at Unity Point. Chris, good luck to you, buddy, with what you're going through. Hope you're out of there soon, man. Scott says it's only weird. Scott says it's only weird if it doesn't work. You're only a goofball if you lose, and then you look down and you go, "Why'd I wear this?" Probably my fault.
515-517-2303 is the number to call. If you are done growing your family, a vasectomy may be the next right step. At Urology Center of Iowa, they offer a no-scalpel procedure designed to be simple, safe, and convenient. It's performed right here in Des Moines by specialists who focus on men's health every single day. So take control of your future with confidence. Visit iowauro.com and click Schedule an Appointment. At Urology Center of Iowa, we see you. We got John in New Jersey on hold. We'll get to him when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
At Iowa Floor Covering, we believe great floors start with great service. Whether you're looking for a plush carpet, durable LVP, timeless hardwood, stylish laminate, or beautiful tile, including custom tile showers, we'll help you find the perfect fit. No pressure, no pushy sales tactics, just honest guidance from a team that listens. DIY Weekend Warrior, we've got the products and advice to set you up for success. Iowa Floor Covering, floors you'll love from people you can trust.
More Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Brendan Santone here for Willis Cadillac. I'm bringing in March with some decent weather and some great deals and some 25s. We have two 25 XT5s left in stock, as well as two 25 Cadillac Lyrics available. Low APR, as well as great lease deals on all these vehicles. Come get one before they're gone. Stop in and see us over in Clive at Willis Cadillac, online at williscadillac.com, or just give us a shout.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different.
As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always priority one.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive and Willis Cadillac. Escalades are available right now, which rarely happens, folks. They also have Escalade allocation open, so you can order yours today. Start your ordering and buying journey at willisauto.com. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like. And, of course, leave your comments in the comment section. You can also call the show. A lot of calls this morning. Keep them coming at 515-517-2303. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. Talking a lot about the Iowa win over Nebraska last night, on to the Elite Eight. And when they made the Sweet 16, he was an emotional guy. Will he still be emotional, or has it changed into jubilation? Let's go out to New Jersey. That's where John is. John, welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. What's going on?
It's jubilation, fellows, because now
Hell yeah.
house money.
Yep.
Because we shouldn't be here, but I think it means more because growing up as a Hawkeye, like you guys who grew up in the Tom Davis era, the grit, the determination, the 40 minutes of hell, the work ethic that the state embodies, the never say die, never quit attitude of sons or grandsons or great-grandsons of farmers who've been born and lived in this state. It just means more this time around, because you've been waiting for 40 years for something like this, and to see that it's one of our own who's the same age as us, who gets it. Fran was never going to give you that. Neither was Todd, neither was Steve. And because they weren't native sons. And I think that that's, for our generation, at least for me, it just means more. The future's bright. And I'm at a loss for words. The fact that we did it against Nebraska and totally just, we owned their ass in everything since they joined the Big Ten. And it feels freaking sweet.
It does.
Thanks for the call, John.
These cocky MFers from Nebraska during the 90s thinking that their shit didn't stink. Well, we're in the Elite Eight.
Thanks, John. Good call.
The passion burns. The passion burns with John, man.
It does. And I know what he's talking about. Growing up in Western Iowa like I did, you know, I'm 30 minutes from the border. And all I heard growing up was, listen, Nebraska would own the Big Ten, right? They were in the Big Eight.
I remember that.
In the Big 12, it was like, you don't understand. The Big 8, the Big 12's just different.
Yeah, they learned that crossing the Missouri River was a little different once they got in the Big Ten.
Yes. Yes. And, you know, Bill Moose, who's the former athletic director, just wrote a book, Ross. And he let it be known in his book that there was discussion in like 2019, 2020 to join the Big 12, to get back out of the Big 10.
I've heard that. Yeah. I want to ask you a question that a lot of people are not going to like, and several people are going to think I'm just being a Iowa Hawkeye dick. I want to challenge something that we have accepted as a preconceived notion, that we have all just accepted and said, this thing is true. Travis, is Fred Hoiberg a good coach?
A good coach? Yes. Is he a great coach? I don't know if we know the answer to that.
What is Fred Hoiberg? Take a guess at what Fred Hoiberg's winning percentage is as a coach.
At Nebraska or altogether?
We can do all together. We can do it at Nebraska. Do whichever you want. I've got it in front of me. I did some math here.
At Nebraska, it's below 50%. Matter
Yes,
of fact,
it is.
he had the worst 4 years of any coach in Nebraska history.
Yeah.
I would say if you throw the Bulls in there and Iowa State and Nebraska, it's probably 44%.
Dude, you nailed it. 44% is his conference record. He, in his 6 years at Nebraska, his 7 years at Nebraska, he has finished 11th or lower in the Big Ten 5 of those 7 times. He has finished 11th, 12th, 13th, and finished 14th twice at the start of his career at Nebraska. With Iowa State, he had some great teams, never won the conference, did finish tied for second that last year, made it to the Sweet 16 in the 13-14 year, but was bounced out in that first round of that in that last season. Didn't have a good career with the Chicago Bulls, won 42% of his games with the Chicago Bulls. Is Fred Hoiberg a good basketball coach?
He had a great year this year. That's why he was the Big Ten Coach of the Year. I think the answer to your question right now, based on numbers, he's a good basketball coach. There's a difference between, but you know what good doesn't get you? It doesn't get you Elite Eights. It doesn't get you Final Fours.
Travis, last night having on the biggest defensive possession of the school's history, not of your season. In the biggest defensive possession of your school's history, you rolled 4 dudes out there. I've always just accepted it. I've always just accepted it like, oh, Fred's a great coach because he's Fred Hoiberg and we all love him. And I'm looking at it this morning. I got thinking, wait, man, what's his record? What's his conference record? What's his career record? And then you look at that and you go, oh no, you can't make the argument that he's a great coach.
Now, if he can follow this up with another deep run, and listen, we've said we have to be consistent. If you get to the Sweet 16, that's a pretty
damn good. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
yes.
Yeah,
you fix a lot of problems there. He's not getting fired. He's not getting fired. But we've seen this happen. Team in 2026, especially, but hell, back in 2022, you could turn around a team in 1 year. So this thing of like, well, he had no players at Nebraska. Okay, so he had to play the first year without any players. Second year, he finished dead last in the league again. Third year, he finished 13th. Fourth year, he finished 11th. You got to give him time. I don't know. We will see. Did you see the Price Sanford comments at the end of in the post game presser?
No.
Where he said, "If I'm at Nebraska next year."
Because you know what? His phone's ringing off the hook. And here's what Nebraska has. It has a Nebraska NIL problem. You know where the money's going? It's going to football because football needs to win. And Nebraska, and I'm not using it as an excuse for Fred, but I do know that Nebraska's basketball NIL has lagged behind many other schools. And if you lag behind NIL, you're going to have a hard time getting the players that you want. He was able to get ranked mass from Bradley. Frager will probably stay because he's a Lincoln kid. I believe if we believe everything we've learned about Fred Hoiberg and the Sanford family, which that close to us, you're going to go find money, right? But I guarantee, no different than what Bill Fenley's going through at Iowa State. The phone's ringing off the hook. In fact, the UCLA women's coach mentioned yesterday, she goes, there has to be something in place because she's exhausted. She goes, I am getting run down. And she goes, I can't imagine what it's like at the men's level. It's nonstop that you have to deal with this stuff all the time. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Randy. Randy, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's up, Randy?
How we doing, fellas?
Great.
this is amazing. I was able to finally sit with my dad, and he was excited about watching Iowa basketball for the first time in like 30 years. He could not stand Fran, would not watch basketball with me. And he's one of the main reasons that I like Iowa sports so much is that was the only time he would stop working is when Iowa was on, either basketball or football, back when Tom Davis was coaching. And to actually be able to sit down and watch it with my dad meant the world to me, and watch it with my son in my Kinnick Stadium man cave.
That's awesome. And I can tell you're a bit emotional about it, which is super, super cool. Because, I never had that relationship with my dad. And Owen and I aren't, touchy-feely, but it was fun to watch the game with Owen last night. And because we don't sit and watch a lot of sporting events together. And I kind of feel what you're feeling here, man. And I'm glad you got to experience that because it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
Hopefully we get one more on Saturday. Be a tough road, but it's not undoable.
No, it's not undoable. It is very doable.
Yep.
All right, Randy.
Randy,
Go
love
Hawks.
it, man.
515. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, Trav. What Randy just said there, a lot of us are in that boat. Why are you a Hawkeye fan? Yeah, I was born into it. I've said this. I didn't choose to be a Hawkeye fan. When I was a little kid, every Peterson I knew wore a Tiger Hawk. And that was what you did. On Saturdays, you got together and you watched the Hawkeyes. And when the Hawkeyes were on, what Randy just said there, the number of times we were pouring concrete and listening to a Hawkeye game pouring out of a radio, and those memories, and like last night, sitting there with my dad and my brother, those were all the things. Randy, that put tears in my eyes hearing you say that, because that's the experience. That's why we love this stuff. It gives you a bigger, deeper feeling than, a team I rooted for won. Yay. There's something else with it when you have family and all that emotion tied up with it. That, Randy, good for you, buddy. Happy for you.
Jacob, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's up, Jacob?
Morning.
Morning.
Travis, first of all, thank you for your support of the St. Pat's of Elkhorn charity dinner. I met you there, so thank you for that.
I forget, Jacob, are you an Iowa fan or are you a Nebraska fan?
I am an Iowa fan. I was handing you a glass of bubbly.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Okay, I remember that now.
Yep. So awesome parish, awesome people. So thank you, Travis.
No problem.
For support of that. Definitely want to key off of the last caller. I was definitely jumping, sharing with my boy last night. We have a split family, and so I have some boys that are Husker fans and some boys that are Hawkeye fans. I had told my son that was a Husker fan last night. I can't imagine rooting for a team that's different than my dad's. Like I always cheered for the Hawkeyes and the Chiefs, which were my dad's team, and it's like a bonding thing. So I said, I kind of feel sorry for you. I told him. But question for you guys. I've got a serious question. So my youngest son has a coupon dress down day at his Catholic school in Nebraska. He's considering using that to wear Hawkeye gear.
Absolutely.
Today.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And you tell him, how old is he, Jacob?
He's 11.
Okay, you teach him how to peacock. You tell him, you put your back up straight, you pump that chest a little bit, and he shows up in full black and gold today. Absolutely.
All right, guys, we're doing it.
Do it.
Love it, Jacob.
Live it. Love it.
Have fun, buddy.
Thanks,
have a great
man.
weekend.
All right, guys.
Am I wrong?
I love that. It's you teach him how to peacock.
Walk in and goes, "What's up, boys?"
Walk in like Conor McGregor.
You do not hesitate, because your classmates will remember that forever. Now, they'll get even at some point. But just enjoy it.
But
relish it.
you've got a while. Football's going to struggle. You got a while.
515-517-2303. Ryan, welcome to the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. What's up?
Oh, I'm just looking for some advice.
Oh, you've come to the right place. You have come to the right place.
She always gives me a hard time about bad Christmas gifts, so I bought her some tickets to a comedy show. It happens to be on March 28th at 7 o'clock. And then, of course, last week she decided that she'd get reservations at a nice restaurant at 5 o'clock for tomorrow night. So I'm just looking for some advice. How do I handle this with the game going on at 7?
Ross is thinking,
I'll
give you my advice first. I'll give you my advice.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's what you do. You say, honey, I love you. But tomorrow, I love the Hawks more. So you skip the dinner, you watch the game, and are you going to the Funny Bone or is it an arena show?
That's what I was going to ask.
Hoyt Sherman.
Who are you seeing?
Whitney Cumming.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Whitney Cumming is going to have an opener or two. You can be late.
Can I wait? Can I try to make everybody happy? Okay. And it might not work. You might piss off everyone around you. But what was the caller's name? I missed it. Travis.
It's
what was his
Ryan.
name? Ryan, I'm so sorry to even present this idea, but hear me out. Bruno and I were supposed to be going to a Sturgill Simpson concert, and the Cubs were playing in Game 7 of the World Series. Bruno watched it at Hoyt Sherman on his phone. I think you do this. I think you talk to the wife and you say, hey, honey, listen, I never anticipated that this, first in a lifetime thing was going to happen where the Hawkeyes were going to play magically and find themselves in the Elite Eight tonight. It's a huge game. It's the biggest game of my Hawkeye fandom life. So I'm going to take the phone.
Yeah,
I'll try to.
I remember the last Elite Eight.
Okay, well, you don't have to remind her of that. She doesn't know you know that.
Yeah, don't tell her that.
No.
It's just
trying
a
to
little
help you out here, Ryan.
It's just a little white lie. Just say, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe you see what I'm saying, Trav? Have the phone on your phone between your legs on the seat, and you just look down and you're watching the game and nobody knows. And I bet you this, Ryan. I bet you won't be the only one. I bet when the Hawks hit a big shot in the arena, you're going to hear, yeah!
Now, Ryan, are we talking fancy restaurant or are we talking sports bar for dinner?
So she got reservations at a fancy restaurant, but she's already offered to switch it to a sports bar.
I love it. See, so she's already hip to the game here, man. I think that you say, hey, honey, especially when you're watching the game and you're all both into it, you're going to have to say, hey, I'll just keep the volume down, but I'm going to keep this game on our phone so we can keep watching it. See, then it's still a date night. You're doing it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Now, if she's offered the sports bar, I would probably take that because if you're in a fancy restaurant with nice, tablecloths, you can't yell when something good happens or something bad happens. If you're at a sports bar, you're kind of there with the rest of the fans. You can make eye contact with her and still see the TV behind her. But here's what I would do. I would go get her a nice gift to, go to Fiskus Jewelers. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go up to Ankeny today. I want you to go to Fiskus Jewelers. You don't have to buy a new ring, but you get her a nice set of earrings. You get her a nice necklace. And you say, hey, I know you made a sacrifice tonight, and this was supposed to be about us. And, I talked to Noel Fiskus, and we were able to, I told him the predicament, and we came up with this very nice gift. That go see Noel. Just take the day off, run up to Ankeny and go to Fiskus Jewelers.
Sounds good. I think I'll do
that. Ryan, that's much better advice than his first advice, which was to tell your wife you love the Hawkeyes more than her.
Just for that day.
I don't think that's the way to start a date night. I just think that's a bad first foot.
Not if you're handing a Fiskus Jewelers box. Not if you're handing her a Fiskus Jewelers box. All right, Ryan.
Hey,
thanks, man.
And Rev said cell phones at touring comedians are a no-no, that they won't even allow the cell phone.
But she starts at 7. So that game should be about over.
It'd be real close, wouldn't it?
If you're only there to see Whitney Cummings, she's going to have 2, maybe 3 openers. Now,
who
sure,
in
they
a
might
week
be
you
funny.
won't remember the name of. In a
No.
week you won't remember the names of the opening acts.
No, zero.
But you're gonna remember how the Hawks did.
Absolutely, and you're going to remember where you were. We haven't talked at all about Iowa State, and Iowa State's in action tonight, 9:00. It's
man.
I hope I can stay awake. Joshua Jefferson's going to be a game time decision. He was on the court yesterday, Ross, on the court, and TJ said, "Hey, it's going to be up to Joshua whether he wants to play or not." And he said, that he's still dealing with a lot of pain. And and I get the competitiveness. Do they need Joshua Jefferson to beat Tennessee?
Oh, no. But I mean, Travis, we've talked about this. They've played the first 2 games without him, and they've played really well. They've got the talent. But man, wouldn't you rather have that guy than not? Don't you want that depth? It goes back to what Ben McCollum was talking about. Like, you want to be playing these games at 100%, and I don't think that's an option for Jefferson. We'll see. We'll see. I think that there is a little bit of a Willis Reed thing there, that if he's out there, it provides some inspiration and all that, and maybe it keeps Tennessee guessing. Can they beat Tennessee without him? Yes, they're that good. They're that good. Would they rather have him? Absolutely.
I was watching the video of him walking around, and he was trying. You know how you can kind of, and I'm making an assumption here, but this was my assumption, so it's my truth. But it's one of those things where you're watching him walk, and he's trying not to show that he's in pain. But you ever look at somebody and go, okay, you're trying not to show that you're in pain, but you are obviously in pain walking around. And if you're in that much pain, and you really run the risk of turning an ankle, if you turn it again, you're done. If you can get two more days, get to Sunday. Take on Michigan or Michigan State. Or no, Michigan or who's Michigan playing tonight? I should know this. Who's Michigan playing tonight?
Oh my gosh, come on, Trav. Why? How can you not know they're playing Alabama? Jeez.
I know. Sorry. Forgot about Alabama. If you can get to Sunday. But the Willis Reed moment could be, hey, I'm on the sidelines. I'm in uniform.
But there.
And
he was ginger with it. He was being there's a word for it when you're favoring the other ankle. I could see that too, Trav. And I again got more time. Good to see him on his feet. Good to see him wearing his shoes. If those are the things that are good progressions, though, are you ready to play in an Elite Eight game against Tennessee tonight at 9:00?
Yeah, because if you're 2 steps slow on the defensive end, you're more of a liability.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I mean, I think Iowa State proved in the first 2 games it can win without him.
Yeah.
Love to have him in uniform tonight. Love to have him on the court. But if you're not ready, if you're going to be a step or 2 slow on defense, you become a liability on the court rather than somebody who's at 100%. Huge game for the Cyclones tonight. Again,
favored by
matchup.
3.5. ESPN's famed matchup predictor has a 60.6% chance of winning for the Cyclones. Should be a heavy Cyclone crowd over there in Chicago.
Should be.
Does it bother you? I mean, the Hawks in Illinois playing down in Houston, way better than Iowa playing against Houston, obviously. I don't know anybody that's. I know some people that head over to Chicago.
Yeah, does it bother me that I was playing in Houston?
No, I mean, more of like when I was afraid they were going to have to play Houston in Houston. I'm like, well, that's not fair. It's part of the tournament.
It's part of the tournament. That is part of the tournament.
Cyclones had to play. Was it Michigan State in Michigan?
Up in Detroit, might have been
something like that. That was I remember. Yeah. So,
yeah. You know, we didn't get to on a normal day. This would have been an hour-long conversation. Hour-long. And I may reach out to Keith Mondillo again. LSU hired Will Wade yesterday. in one of the slimiest deals I've seen, right? Will Wade was the LSU coach, was under investigation by the FBI, got suspended for the 2019 NCAA tournament, ended up getting fired, had a 2-year show cause, went to McNeese State for 2 years, then took the NC State job. Then this all started happening over the last week of LSU's going after Will Wade again. He resigns to his athletic director via email through his agent, goes back to LSU, when they fired Brian Kelly, you had a governor that was all upset about the amount of money they were going to have to pay. Since that happened, Ross, LSU has dropped $190 million in dead money on coaches. You had the buyout of Brian Kelly at $54 million. You had the contract of Lane Kiffin. You have the buyout of the coach they fired yesterday at $8 million. You had the buyout of Will Wade, which was $3 million at North Carolina State. You have like $40 million of football NIL money. Not $190 million. And what we're really starting to see, the governor really wasn't upset about the money. He didn't like the previous athletic director. He got him fired because he wouldn't hire Will Wade last year. He wanted him to hire Will Wade a year ago, didn't do it, and he was pissed at it. I don't know how this money tree, and listen, my daughter lives in Louisiana. That state has money problems. Apparently not.
Yeah.
Apparently not. For a state institution, I don't care how much private money there is out there, for a state institution in a 6 to 7 month period to throw down $190 million, more than half of it in buyouts, that's crazy. And to hire coaches that have 0 championships. Lane Kiffin doesn't have a championship. Will Wade doesn't have a championship. The money.
Dude, I don't get it. It is absolutely mind-boggling. And it's not just, Louisiana, that's the one, but we could do this in a lot of different states.
Yeah.
You could go around and go, oh man, they're giving hundreds of millions of dollars. Dude, I feel like I'm the wrong species or something. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. How are all of these people making all of this money and everybody else is hurting and everything else is underfunded, but damn it, we're going to pay coaches not to coach. It's wild.
Hey, if you're looking for a mortgage for your house, call Gary Presnell. He's a mortgage banker with Northwest Bank, and he's been financing homes for the past 25 years. Gary can get your loan pre-approved in less than 30 minutes, and it can happen after hours during the week and even on weekends. He offers VA, FHA, IFA first-time buyer loans and conventional and new construction loans. Gary's been the state of Iowa's top-producing mortgage banker the past 8 years. Give him a call at 515-975-6767. Joining us next on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive, and he's stacked. He's got like the cut-off shirt on.
Well, this is what I was going to ask.
Muscles.
Last night the game gets over and we're all pumping up. We're all like, yeah, Joe. What do you think Kluver did when the Hawks won last night? Do you think he went and did like 30 pull-ups?
No, he did clean and jerks.
I didn't need to know that.
See what I did there? It is the Rush Radio Show.
I know what you did there.
Willis Automotive.
Game on? Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you my dream job is no job, you know. Front row tickets to every show, you know. Hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie, you know.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles, you know. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you can change your life for life. Play today.
Woo-hoo! Here at Willis Infinity, we love spring. Flowers blooming, birds chirping, and potholes. Wait. We don't love potholes. Hitting potholes can cause all sorts of alignment issues and tire damage. For the month of March, we're offering a pothole special that includes 20% off Mountain Balance, Rotate, and alignment. Schedule your appointment online at willisinfinity.com or stop in today.
Hey, Tanner with Liberty Lawn and Landscape here. It may be chilly now, but before you know it, spring will be here. We are now booking for spring, so get a hold of us to schedule your next project today. Serving the Des Moines Metro, we specialize in a variety of services such as retaining walls, paver patios, edging and rocking, and much more. Now offering 3D renderings to show you exactly how your project will look before beginning. Liberty is proudly veteran-owned and ready to serve you today.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiscus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. Whoop! So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, service manager here at Mini of Des Moines. It's pothole season, which is why now we're offering a 20% discount when you purchase a tire rotation, balance, and alignment. Please give us a call or visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com to set your appointment.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Hey, do you need new floors? Iowa Floor Covering in Bondurant has you covered with carpet, hardwood tile, luxury vinyl, and more. Plus expert sales and installation you can trust. That's Iowa Floor Covering. Good people, great floors. Visit iowafloorcovering.com today. Of course, we have the Washed Up Walk-Ons Rush Radio Show March Madness pool that we're doing. Right now, you and I, Tyler, and Wade MC leading that with 164 points. We got a lot of close ones in there. We've got and Tyler, thanks for teaming up with us on this. It's been fun to follow this thing along.
I'm getting my ass kicked, but
I'm in 10th place.
Dude, I used to be, maybe it's because I watched a little bit more basketball. For the entirety of you do high school brackets with your buddies, and then in college you're doing it, and for 10 years I was so good. I was at the my buddy who went to Iowa State, one of my best friends from high school, has run a pool of over 100 people every year since we were 18. And for 10 years straight, I was competitive. And the last 3 years, I have been god awful. I'm dead last in my wife's family's bracket. 33 out of 33. It's I might as well quit, but I'm happy to be here. Sorry I missed last week.
That's fine.
I was it was some weird issue. I was on vacation, and you're out of your normal, and then the tech stuff hits, and now we can't hear Ross. Now
Can't you guys hear me? Can you hear me now?
Now we can.
Because you were muted.
The hell.
Tech issues, right? There you go.
Were you? Yeah, right. Were you somewhere fun?
Orlando. It's one of those things where you have small children, and traveling is just, everybody with small children knows you're just you're just rolling the dice, right? And our kids are just angels. They were perfect. But even then you get to the location, it's what do you do with a 3 and a 1-year-old? I could take them to the park down the street and they think it's the coolest thing of their life. They hardly even remember last week. It's holy shit, we get to go to the park,
Yeah.
So taking them to Orlando, we didn't do all the Disney stuff. They're not going to remember that.
Good.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah, they're not going to remember that. We'll do that in 8 or 10 years.
Yes. Perfect.
But it was fun. Got away. The weather wasn't even nice. We got home. We landed in Iowa on last Saturday, and it was like 15 degrees warmer than it was all week in Florida. I was like, Jesus, this is
Hold that thought real quick. 515-517-2303. We do got a phone call coming in. Is this Scott? Who is this?
It's Chuck.
Chuck. Hey, Chuck. It came up wrong in the call screener.
Yes.
What's up, Chuck? You're on with Tyler Kluber and Ross Peterson. And me.
Hey, I love the show. I love Boston Broncos. I just wanted to call in with a woo-hoo about how Ben McCullough in his first year has gone to the Elite Eight before Fred Hoiberg and T.J. Oxford. So I thought that was a good one.
There you go. That's your woo-hoo from
incredible.
the Iowa Lottery. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate
Thanks,
it, man.
Chuck.
Thank you.
TJ and Ben there's some shared genetics there.
I would agree with that.
I watched TJ's little his press conference yesterday or whatever, where he opened up and he's like, yeah, let's do this first. And to quash all the rumors of him going somewhere else, and just listening to him talk and the vibe he gives off. And man, I've been around so many coaches in my life, and you just get a feeling. Those two guys, you put those, if those two had a podcast, holy shit, that'd be insane.
Did you see? Did you hear what McCullum was when the camera caught him screaming at the guys? Did you hear?
I didn't know.
Basically, it was you're soft.
Oh, I heard. I just saw Sturtz's interview after the game where they're like, "What was he saying?" He's like, "Yeah, he broke his marker, slammed his clipboard.
Yeah, that's the one.
Told us we suck and we're soft." And I was like,
you
"Yes,
see the one where he gave
yes."
You see the one where he's like, gave
he's
the eyes like, "What are you guys doing out there?"
He's a psycho. He probably went to bed 3 hours ago because he watched 5 hours of Illinois tape after.
I bet he didn't sleep.
There's a chance. And you know what? You know what? There's this weird thing of balance that people talk about in life. No such thing as balance when you're trying to be the best in the world at something. And how many? I mean, I would love for this to be wrong, but how many chances do you get at the Elite Eight? How many chances do you get to try and go to the Final Four? I would probably take the most, make the most of that opportunity, right? And you get this short window. It's a little different from the first weekend to the second weekend. You get 4 days. You can kind of stretch it out a little bit. And you have a team that does a staff that does a lot of this as well. They win that game last night. They didn't know at the time, but Illinois less than 48 hours later. There's not a lot of time for sleep. It's you got to be crazy. We've talked about it 3 or 4 times.
But this has to help that you're playing a conference opponent. I mean, I know they only played Illinois one time. Kluve, and I look back at that game. That was the middle of a 3-game skid where they lost to Minnesota, they lost to Illinois second, and then they lost to Purdue in the 3rd game. This is a way better Hawkeye team than played Illinois back in January.
You're certainly riding a momentum, and I mean, they are how cool is it to have your team as the Cinderella story of the tournament? It's so sweet. Yeah, they're better. I think it's interesting. Last night they won a game where they talked about all week how hey, if this is in the 50s or 60s, Iowa's got a chance. Game got close to the 80s, and they won the ball game. Sturtz played well last night, and outside of his scoring and his 3-point shooting, we talked about the 0-9 stuff against Florida the other day. He's played 120 minutes of the last 120 minutes, 1 turnover as a point guard who played every minute. That's an absurd stat. So he's doing a lot for the Hawks, but last night he's their identity. He's their guy.
Yeah.
Tate Sage, Koch, Alvaro, in the biggest moments, these supporting cast guys, just, the D2 misfits, right?
Yeah.
All these mid-major guys.
You have to have an appreciation for that, because you were smaller. You came from you had your role, but you have to appreciate that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That hits right that hits home. I mean, that's it's such a, again, I keep bringing this back to like, this is such Kirk Ferentz basketball. It's unbelievable. It's like next guy in. We don't care about the stars. It's toughness. It's grit. We're going to take you into the deep end and see if you can fucking swim, because not a lot of people, when it gets a little nasty, God, it's like the Ohio State game in 2017, the Polecat game. Like, that was such a representation of that. We took them to the deep ocean early in that game and kept taking them further away from shore, to the point where around the time I made that catch, the play after Stanley throws it to Hawkinson for a touchdown, you can see them looking at each other on the sideline. There's still a quarter and a half left a game. They're looking at each other on the sideline going, we don't know. We're not tough enough. We don't care enough to stay in this game. We broke them. And McCollum plays that kind of basketball. He's like, we're gonna break you with some no-star guys.
Somebody earlier was talking about their conditioning and how Koch had said the biggest difference from last year to this year was when they condition, he pukes now. And then turning that into last night and saying, look at how they have finished these last couple of games. And even the announcers even said, with like 3 minutes left, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, McCollum's got his 5 guys on the court. He's going to finish this game.
Yeah.
He's not going to. He's not going to.
It was 4 minutes, because I remember thinking
4?
Yeah, it was 3:59 as the clock ticked past 4 minutes. He goes, and this is McCollum's lineup, everyone. This is what he's going to finish the game with. So that makes me smile so much from just as a strength and conditioning nerd. I would love, that makes me want to run a practice with them so bad. I would love to run and do that conditioning just as a exercise sicko. You guys pegged me perfectly to open the show, Travis. I actually watched the first half of the game at the gym last night, because I'm in the middle of like the second round of that CrossFit season.
He's clean and jerking during the first half.
No, it wasn't. Clean and jerks will be a thing either today or tomorrow. But no, last night was actually a basketball-ish workout. Shuttle runs, burpees.
I've heard at Travis's age, he has to schedule his clean and jerks also, Tyler. So don't feel bad.
No, yeah, I was like, he's like, yeah, what was Kluve doing? Was he working out? And I was like, yeah, I was working out. We watched it on a projector screen. Yeah.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Marshalltown. Booker, what's going on, bud?
Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Love your show, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, it's great to be on with a legend from Marshalltown. Marshalltown's greatest athlete, Tyler Kluver. It's awesome. I love it. I'm so jacked after that win last night. Hey, my weekly Whoo-Hoo, Iowa won last night, and not one person called the show and cried today. Woo-hoo!
There you go. That was a good woohoo.
That was a great woohoo.
That almost sounded like the Iowa Lottery sounder. Thanks, Booker. Appreciate it. Hey, I do have a question for you.
Greatest athlete.
Do you have a split allegiance family? Because I know you have family over where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
Are they?
I'll be going there tomorrow.
Call me. I mean, let's hook up. But look at Tyler's like, I'm not calling you, dude. I'm not calling you. Are they Husker fans? Do you get some rabbit punches in?
Yeah. This tomorrow's gonna be tomorrow and Sunday. So my wife's grandma will be doing like a week early Easter. She's doing her Easter on Sunday, where the whole extended family comes. And so yeah, we'll be in Beatrice. Love Beatrice, Nebraska, by the way. Great town.
Sure.
So we'll drive through Omaha, Lincoln. We'll go through and I'll be deep in Nebraska territory. And yeah, they're all like hardcore. Every time, 3-4 times a year, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. They're all there and decked out in Husker gear, and I just kind of sit there.
Are you going to show up peacocking in Iowa?
No, I won't. And then I don't make comments. I'm not. I don't. They'll bring it up, and I'll just kind of sit there and be like, it's been great since the whole narrative right now is like Nebraska's entire fan base is just like, God damn it, they own us and everything. The wins have spoken for themselves, and I'm also the kind of person who's like, I was a part of 4 of those, and I had some claim of like ownership there. I haven't done shit to keep that up. I personally, this is where I differ from most fans. It's like I take no ownership in what these in what these guys have done. This is all them. And that goes both ways, right? When they win, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I don't take as much ownership in the win either. Like I try not to brag or feel like I've done anything to be a part of that. But when you lose, it's also like, well, they got to get their shit together. The Hawks, I didn't lose that game, you know? So I'm just a different guy, obviously, watching the game from the gym at 7:00 last night. But there's their entire family. My wife's both sides of her family, all Nebraska.
Is your wife from Beatrice?
No, my wife was born in Marshalltown like I was. Second greatest athlete. My wife. Not even true, by the way. Thanks, Booker. Make me sound real good. I was maybe the fourth best athlete in my grade. But it was, it's always a good time to go to Nebraska. And this weekend, it'll be even sweeter because it'll hurt a little bit if the Hawks lose on Saturday. And then everybody will come and be like, well, thank God Iowa lost last night, because Sunday everybody will come into town.
The crazy thing, what I love about this basketball season, is we're talking about basketball this deep into March.
Yeah,
but it's taken the spotlight off spring football, because spring football is going on right now. They're practicing, and I would say spring football has not been that big of a deal over the course of time. But we haven't been talking about quarterbacks. We haven't been talking about a lot of things. Is it nice just to have football not being talked about at this point? Take a little bit of pressure off those guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think even from like a standpoint of our industry of like, hey, you guys get on every morning. By the way, I have some real compliments to give you guys, and maybe it'll be for a different show. But I listen to you guys. I'm not just like a Friday guy. I hop on for 30 minutes and then I don't consume any Travis and Ross. Like every morning as I'm feeding the baby, getting ready for daycare.
Well, thank you.
And your guys' chemistry, like I have a lot of like behind baseball, like kind of or inside baseball stuff from the technical side of producing the show and stuff. Like I don't think people understand how good you guys are.
Well, that means a lot.
But
Tyler, thank you, man.
Regardless, like it's nice to have a little variety. We normally would not do a basketball show on the walk-ons, right? Our Monday, Thursday show. Yesterday's episode was a basketball show. We're like, well, what are we going to talk about? We're not going to talk about the Hawks in the Sweet 16? And its numbers are doing better than all of the football guests that we've recently had on. I just had Monday's episode. I'll just give you guys the numbers. Monday's episode was Xavier Wampa.
Yeah.
5-star athlete that just graduated. He's going to be an NFL. He's going to get drafted in a month. He just had pro day. What could be a better guess? He's going to play in the NFL. We've had a bunch of his teammates on, all these guys that have just graduated. We do a basketball episode Thursday in like 10 hours. That has double the numbers that the Wampa episode had after 4 days. So it's like, yeah, it's great. It's great to have other stuff to talk about. And you kind of ride that high and low of like, hey, and that's what's great about your guys' show, because you guys go all over the place. You guys do all sports. For us, it's
and
like
everything else.
Yeah. And for us, it's like football is really like our niche. That's what we know. And then everything else, you start talking about something else and they're like, hey, could you guys just talk about football? We want to hear like what you know about, but the basketball stuff, everybody is riding this high right now. It's amazing.
Well, thank you for the compliment.
It's very nice of you to say.
And now I know why you probably hesitate to have Ross and I on your podcast, is because we're not going to pull down the numbers that Xavier Wampa or baskesketball did. People are like, who are these two clowns?
Xavier, I need to go. I need to go listen to that. I hadn't seen that. I've had a weird week, but hadn't had a chance to listen to that. That good stuff from Xavier. I mean, he seems like such an awesome young man. Everything I've heard about him is good.
So down to earth, not a guy who you'd want to do a 2-hour show with every morning. Like one of those guys who's like, he's not going to elaborate on a lot. Gave me like very actual, like the way he responded to questions and how much he gave us was like very Cooper DeJean-ish when he came out. Quiet guy, media trained, like all about my teammates. They're just like Kirk Ferentz to the bone right now. And Cooper, as he's become a superstar, has obviously expanded a little bit. You grow up, you mature, you get better behind the microphone the more you do it. But yeah, he was great. He told a couple great stories about I was like, hey, how'd we keep you home? What was their recruiting pitch? We talked about how big 5-star athlete came in wasn't just a star right away. Like what was that like? And so he had some fun stuff.
Did you ask him if he was tampered with? Did you ask? I mean, did you say, hey, how many people tampered with you?
No. We did talk about NIL a little bit. The vibe he gave off was just like, yeah, man, I just wanted to stay home. The reason that Coach Ferentz in Iowa City was attractive to him is because they told it like it was. Like he was a mature high school kid who had understood like that everybody was telling him what he wanted to hear. And he said KF and Coach Parker came in and they were like, hey, here's the deal. You're not going to be who you are right now in high school. You're going to have to work. Everything's going to have to be earned. And he was the kind of kid who liked hearing that. Similar to Bo Stevens. Bo Stevens was a 4-star offensive lineman out of Missouri who we had on probably a month and a half ago. And he had plenty of offers as well. And I was like, how did Iowa get you? How'd you end up in Iowa City? And he said, Coach Ferentz basically said like, yeah, you might be able to play here. And I feel like McCollum's the same kind. Hey, we're bring it back around. McCollum the other day, what'd he say? He's like, well, if you're a tough kid.
Yeah. Is that psychological warfare?
It's that challenge. And that's the kind of shit that good coaches that run good culture programs. And years later, we talk about that. These are the coaches who find good people. You find those good people by playing a little bit of that game early. Yeah, you might be able to play here. Yeah, it's not for everybody, right? And you weed out some of those big, gaudy 5-star, look at me, I'm all about because those kids don't hear that. They're not mature enough at that point in their life, sometimes ever, but certainly not at 17 years old. When they're the 5-star, they want to hear, yeah, you're coming in, you're starting right away.
And there are guys
Coach
that hear that.
Never told somebody that.
Did you hear Signetti yesterday with the kid who wore the gold shoes to the practice?
Yeah. Ripped his ass.
He ripped his ass and talked about it.
And then said, I don't think he ever had an ass chewing like that at Michigan State.
And he'll be better for it.
Yeah.
And McCollum's getting a lot of Signetti-esque comparisons right now. If something crazy happens, if and this is getting way ahead, but if McCollum wins this ball game tomorrow, and then they're in the
Jesus, and they could, Tyler, like that, they could beat Illinois.
Absolutely. There's going to be some, we just won't go there. There's some crazy shit. I'm going to have to probably open my wallet to keep Ben in Iowa City because, they're going to hire him as I don't know.
I can't even believe we're here having this conversation.
How insane is it that we're having this talk?
Crazy.
No, you know what? It's good. Keith Murphy had a good comment the other day because people were ripping Keith that he was sharing TJ stories about being mentioned for the North Carolina job. We did it the morning it came out.
They were back up for me. People were mad at Keith because he was saying that there were rumors that he might go to North Carolina.
He's like, hey, TJ's on, no different than we did on Monday or Tuesday, right? And people are like, he's not going anywhere. Why would you share this? And Keith rightfully explains, if people are talking about your coach, that is the biggest compliment you could have as a coach.
That's just insecurity from people who are too small-minded. They're so small-minded that they think, the more this gets shared, it might actually have an effect on TJ's decision.
Their world is so small, and I love Keith Murphy, but they think that the North Carolina athletic department is going to be influenced.
Yeah.
Keith, if you just not talk about it, nobody would know who TJ is.
Michael Jordan and all the decision makers over there in Chapel Hill, they saw Keith Murphy's video, and they're like, well, shit, maybe we better take a look at this.
I never thought about TJ. Is it Otzelberg? How do they say that? I don't even know how to say his name.
We were. I don't know if you heard us when we were talking about this, but what if your phone rang and it's like, it's from North Carolina? It's probably the AD, and it's like, hey, this is Michael Jordan.
It's happened before. We talked about Marcus Page a couple weeks ago. Marcus Page, they brought him down on a visit, and he got off the they go to pick him up at the airport. He got out of the car, or maybe into the car at the airport, I think.
And Jordan's in the car,
and Michael was in the back.
Dude, I'm done. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. Yep.
That's when you open the door. You're like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or you look around and go, I don't think I'm supposed to be in this car.
Yeah, is this car for me? Yeah, that's a pretty good recruiting pitch.
You hop in the car, you go, hey, man, anybody ever tell you look like Michael Jordan? You look like an old, fatter version of Michael Jordan, man.
Unreal.
All right, so we're Iowa State plays tonight.
Yeah.
When we gather on Monday, how many Iowa teams are in the Final Four?
Oh, 2.
So do I.
Wait, in the Final Four.
Yeah. So
well, actually, what I hope for the Final Four, because I saw this, we have a potential to have an all Big Ten Final Four, don't we?
Oh yeah.
I'd rather have Iowa State than Michigan.
Kind of weird. I would love either. If you could guarantee Iowa and Iowa State, or if you're having that conversation, yeah. My 2 co-hosts argued this with me. Neither of them born in Iowa.
Okay.
Good fact there. I was like, I hope that Iowa State and Iowa both win. This is on our Thursday episode yesterday. They're like, no, fuck Iowa State. We don't want any part of that. And I'm like, guys, no way. Like, this is so good for the state. And they're like, we want Iowa State to have nothing good in their life. Nothing. And I'm like, cool, that's great. This is making great content for the show. But I got a lot of comments that are like, nah, Kluver's right. Like, Iowa and Iowa State both winning, going to the Elite 8 would be so cool. How many teams in the Final Four?
Oof.
Who would they play? Who would they play?
They would play Michigan in the Elite 8 if they win tonight.
Or Alabama. Probably Michigan.
Alabama.
Man, the Jefferson thing is such a big deal for them.
It is.
If he doesn't play, I mean, statistically, probably it's probably better chance that there's none. Honestly, like it being real. But hey, you run one's probably a good spot to land. I can't say 2 because it doesn't make any logical sense.
But it's just as likely as none.
But it doesn't make any logical sense that we're in this spot already.
Right.
So 100%.
So statistics don't matter. What should happen or shouldn't happen doesn't matter. If Iowa has 2 teams in the Final Four, I want everybody to know that this is it. This is peak. Until they do it in the CFP, that's the only thing it could get.
That's true. That's true. That's the only thing that could be bigger.
And that's
going to
be a long ways away because Matt Campbell and company are gone.
Yep.
And I don't think Johnny Rogers over there is gonna. It's gonna take a while for them to build that.
It'll take a while.
If there's this is peak. Everybody enjoy it, because if there's 2 Iowa teams in the Final Four,
Iowa beats basketball state.
Iowa beats Illinois.
We'll be having a hell of a show on Friday.
Oh, buddy. Oh, but it's just fun to think about. Tyler, have a great weekend, buddy. Drive safe over to Beatrice. Wear your Hawkeye gear.
I'll wear something.
And I'm going to order one of those hats you have on. Those are nice.
Right here. We also have Ben McCollum tie T-shirts on our website right now. If you want to support the boys.
All right. See you, Tyler.
See ya,
buddy.
See ya. Tyler Kluver joining us on the Rush Radio Show. Hope you had fun today. Thanks to everybody who called. Got a lot of woo-hoos today. I'm thinking Ray, who's now debt-free.
Ray. Yeah, Ray just got his house paid off. He's got some good stuff coming up. He's retiring. So, Ray, you got all that good luck. Roll it into that Iowa lottery, man. Cash in, buddy.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, Noel from Fiskus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiskus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
As winter turns to spring and the world comes alive again, one thing remains true. Potholes can really mess up your day. From busted tires to knocking your alignment out of whack, hitting a pothole can cause some serious damage. For the month of March, Land Rover Des Moines is offering 20% off a pothole special. Tire rotate, balance, and alignment package to keep you on the road. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
With the Iowa Lottery's new Millionaire for Life game, you could win $1 million a year for life. That could make you a My Dream Job is No Job millionaire. A front row tickets to every show millionaire. A hire a personal glam squad for you and your bestie millionaire.
Yep, a little further.
Or just to never run out of your favorite pickles millionaire. With Millionaire for Life from the Iowa Lottery,
And these.
you could change your life for life. Play today.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.